Hey folks, it's Keith from 9 Round Watertown. I'm sitting here with Tariq and our guest this month. And we got some real good information and insight coming your way, and want to make sure you stay tuned and listen to this new episode of 9 Round Healthy Options. Go ahead, Tariq.
All right, guys, we're here with Maggie. She's an awesome member and an awesome person. And just by talking with her a little bit, we actually found out she's actually a professor down at SU, and she actually has a lot of good insight on a lot of topics that relate to you and your overall wellness.
So first I want to say I love 9 Rounds. Gentlemen, this is such an awesome place to work out. I've been in a lot of fitness facilities in New Jersey and New York State, and this is one of my favorite. So I'm very excited to be coming here. I live in Henderson, so not too far away. My name's Maggie Tompson. I'm a professor at Syracuse University, and a little, I guess, background about myself. I have an undergraduate degree in health administration and gerontology, has nothing to do with fitness. I have a master's degree in healthcare and really nothing to do with fitness. But I've always struggled with my weight and exercise since a young age, and I've always been at a gym. And I was helping all my friends, and someone said, you should be a fitness person. So because I have all that education, I then went on to become an exercise physiologist certified by the American College of Sports Medicine. And I've been on some level in the fitness industry doing stuff for the last 18 years. Right now I teach at Syracuse University in their exercise science department, teaching health and wellness classes, lecture classes, and a lot of one-credit fitness classes. I've done corporate wellness, I've done a lot of wellness coaching with individuals, but my biggest struggle is my own wellness, and so here I am at 9 Rounds having great workouts.
And speaking of that, as you can hear, she's got a lot of skill, huge depth of knowledge, wealth of it. And coming back to what you said there about being here at 9 Round, what do you find in that, what 9 Round is opened the door for you per se, that's helped you per se on your fitness journey, your overall health and well-being journey?
So one of the biggest things with exercising is good form and not injuring yourself. And the first thing I noticed is that this is such a well-supervised exercise. And I know what good form is, but I don't pay attention to my own form, and I'm trying to learn stuff, and these gentlemen kept correcting and helping me do things better, and we all need that. No matter how much knowledge you have, you always need help. So that's one of my favorite things about this.
Well, thanks.
Plus I like kickboxing, and I like this form of workout. It's going different stations, doesn't make it tedious. It's quick, and one of the things I like about this also is, I don't know if you gentlemen or anyone's heard of, in the fitness industry we talk about FIT, F-I-T-T, frequency, intensity, time, and type. And frequency, how often you exercise; intensity, how hard; time, how long; and type, whether you cycle, swim, kickbox. Yep. And intensity is one of the hardest things and one of the best things you can do. And that's what this workout provides, that intensity.
In a short 30-minute time frame.
Yes, so, and that's it's really a huge thing in the fitness world, intensity, and it's hard to do on your own. And here you can do it and accomplish it. And I'm sure as all of you that are working out here, you see that your intensity gets more. The more comfortable you get with it, the more better in shape you get, the more you know how to do it. Because as we all know, you have to learn some of these things.
Yes,
they don't come easy.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And it's definitely a learning process, and definitely develops as you go along.
And the other thing too, since the American College of Sports Medicine is the, I don't know if I should be looking there here.
It's fine either way.
So the ACSM is the gold standard of fitness throughout the world. Doctors use it, everyone uses it. And so the guidelines, just to maintain a healthy lifestyle, not to become in better shape, not to lose weight, not to change your body, cardiovascular fitness, you need to do 5 times a week, 30 minutes.
Wow.
At moderate intensity, or 3 times a week at very high intensity. You have to strength train 3 times a week, and obviously flexibility is an important thing. But the beautiful thing about 9 Rounds is it covers the 30 minutes, you get your strength training and your cardio in. But again, this is something you have to do. The unfortunate thing about exercise is that you have to do it for the rest of your natural born life. You can't just do it and get in shape for 6 months, it doesn't last. You have to do it forever.
Tariq and I were discussing that before you walked in here, about people always looking for that magic pill.
Right.
The magic pill, believe it or not, is a pill you have to take daily.
And, I mean, it can be as simple as walking out your front door on a nice day, because let's face it, sometimes it's just nice to be outside. You walk out your front door, you walk for 15 minutes, you turn around, you walk back. But that isn't going to give you the toned and not the intensity that you want, and that's what's so awesome about this 30 minutes, is you accomplish everything. You get your cardiovascular exercise and your strength training all in one.
Now, would you see yourself, even in the nice summer weather, still working out here a couple times a
Absolutely,
week?
yes. That's when mainly, because my job, I'm not at SU in the summer, so I can't wait to get in here more in the summertime. Yes, the 30 minutes, you come in here,
Get your day going.
yes.
Yep.
And you're open early, which is a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. My body's kind of feels it some mornings, but it definitely is a nice thing. It is. Yeah. If you were sitting down, you know, with a young individual who's having some struggles per se in regards to their overall, they're having battles, issues with their weight. All right. So many people have misconceptions about, you know, oh, if I could just do this, if I can just do that, then I'd be able to feel this way or look that way. And that's really not the way to look at it. It's a complex issue, deeper than what most people think.
So I've dealt with a lot of, especially at Syracuse University, I have a lot of my students talk to me with weight issues. So if we're talking about weight loss, the one thing that we all need to do is not beat ourselves up for what we haven't done in the past. Every day you wake up and you get to make a new decision about how you're going to do things. And then you start. And you have to figure out goals that work for you. So I'll talk about two different things. I told these gentlemen before, I had to do continuing education credits, and I went to a workshop in New Jersey that was led by a registered dietitian who was also a fitness professional. And the course was called Weight Management for the Fitness Professional. And she gave me a lot of great tips that I've always shared with people. One of the tips that she said was, when you go up, the biggest struggle too for people with weight loss is going out to eat. They're like, they just like, oh, forget it. I won't swear. Oh, forget it. And they just eat whatever they want. And she said, get what you want and only eat half of it, or share it with someone, or take the other half home for a meal tomorrow. Because then it empowers you to not feel like you're depriving yourself.
Right.
At home, she said, always eat off of a dinner plate, or I'm sorry, a lunch plate instead of a dinner plate, because if you put a smaller amount of food, and portion control obviously is huge for all of us. Yeah. On a big plate, it looks empty. On a smaller plate, it looks like you have a full plate.
Which we've all heard before, or maybe not all of us heard, but I've heard it in different ways at different times in our lives, and we don't realize how much that correlates to our overall, how much food intake we have.
So she also said that, which I agree, is that any diet per se that restricts a food group or sugar is not good to do, because if you say I'm not going to eat carbs, you know, the Atkins diet or sugar busters, or there's all these different ideas out there for weight loss. The second that you put that back into your diet, it's going to negate itself. A lot of times people will lose 40 pounds just to gain 60 back when they go back to eating. So moderation is huge. My 4 rules when I help people think about things differently is, my first rule is to eat whatever you want, because the second I say to you, you can't have wine, you can't have chocolate, you can't have chips, it goes out the window. The second rule is you should have 25 grams of fiber every single day. Most people do not get the right amount of fiber. Do you gentlemen know why you need fiber in your diet?
Multiple reasons, right? I mean,
Fills you up.
That was the first thing that was coming to my mind.
Helps with digestion, coating your intestines.
Makes your body work more.
Yes.
It burns more calories.
To process the foods that, other
Yeah.
foods
It
that come
helps
in.
lower blood sugar spikes too, right? With
Yeah.
sugar coming in.
Yeah, so most people, my first thing is write down your fiber, because most people do not get 25 grams of fiber a day. 8 out of 10 people have no clue how much fiber they're getting in their day. The beautiful thing too about the day we live in is everything that you buy most of the time in a store is says how much fiber, how many calories, everything is on it. And if you buy a single apple, you just hit Siri, you say, Siri, how many grams of fiber are in an apple? And she'll say 2. Yeah. So it's really easy to track. So second rule, first rule, eat whatever you want. Second rule, 25 grams of fiber a day. Third rule, you must write down every single thing that you put in your mouth, and you have to keep track of it. It's the only way. If you eat Oreos, you can't eat the whole roll. You have to count out 4 of them and know how much fiber in, which is 0, and how many calories are in them, whatever your thing is. Potato chips, you have to count them out. Or you buy the little individual bags that says right on it.
1 serving.
The fourth thing is you have to figure out approximately how many calories you need a day, and you can't go over that. So let's say for me it's 2,000 calories. For me to lose weight, I have to stay right around 2,000 calories. If I start losing 3 to 4 pounds a week, then I need more calories. If I'm not losing any weight, then I need less calories. So first rule is eat whatever you want. Second rule is 25 grams of fiber. Third rule is write down every single thing you put in your mouth. And the fourth rule is you have to stay within a certain amount of calories. And that is about planning your day. If you know you're gonna go out with friends for a piece of pizza and a drink at night, and there's not gonna be any fiber in that, and there's gonna be too many calories, you gotta save your calories and get your fiber in other forms.
Before you go out and have that.
And we were, go ahead.
I was sorry to interrupt you. I was just gonna say, as far as restricting your calories when you're trying to lose weight, what would you choose as like increments as far as when you start dropping that by a little bit?
It really, I could individualize that to a person, but you have to look at what your weight loss is. So so it's 3,500 calories to lose a pound. Okay, you have to have 3,500 negative calories to lose a pound in a week. Does that make sense?
All right, so if your diet, say in a week it was 10,000 normal caloric intake, you would say, to lose that 1 pound, you'd have to cut out 3,500 calories.
And it's based on, again, if you're exercising a lot, you can have more calories. This is a very individualized thing, but overall, if you're a very healthy weight loss is 2 pounds a week. 1 to 3 pounds is a very healthy weight loss. If you're losing 3 pounds or more, you're not having enough calories. If you're not losing weight, you're eating too many calories. So it's about kind of playing around with that. And then you kind of find a calorie range. And you can borrow calories. One day you only eat 1,800 because the next day you've got a big family fun thing. It's about planning your world and planning your food and having healthy things and things are already, and we all eat the same stuff for the most part. There's certain go-tos that we like. We like certain things for breakfast and certain things for lunch or dinner. And like I even say with drinking anything, mark your glass. This is how much wine I can have. This is 180 calories of wine. You mark your glass. I would never say don't drink wine or whatever, orange juice or whatever it is you measure it out ahead of time, and it takes planning.
Know what it is. Like orange juice, everybody has a misconception that orange juice is such a great healthy alternative towards having a natural orange, but unfortunately orange juice has a lot of sugars added to it.
And calories. And I had one gentleman once that wasn't losing weight, and I said, bring to me what you're eating. He's eating a bunch of grapes a day, like a bunch of grapes, because they're healthy. There's like 8 calories in every single grape. Now it's a really healthy snack, but you can't eat 500 of them. But he was just thinking that's healthy, but it's really just calories. And obviously the healthier you eat, the more you can eat because they have less calories.
Yes, exactly. Like Jack LaLanne says, everything comes in a box, that should be your last option. If it comes in a box.
And food prep takes time, but again, in this day and age, one of my favorite things is RX bars. I don't know if you gentlemen have ever had an RX bar. It's 3 egg whites, 2 dates, 6 peanuts, they have all different flavors, but it's all whole food made into a bar that's easy for you to have in your pocket, and it satiates. That's what I eat when I'm teaching all day. I have a piece of fruit between one class, and I have an RX bar, a piece of fruit and RX bar, because it's got a lot of protein in it with the egg whites. And I'm a junk food eater, but I have to have nutrition. And so there's a lot of
options, healthy options.
And even you look at a loaf of bread. You can buy a loaf of bread that has 0 fiber, or you can buy a loaf of bread on the store that has 6 grams of fiber in it. It's about picking it out and spending the time looking at it,
Exactly.
thinking about it.
Exactly. Taking that time to make those healthy choices.
And-
There are healthy options out there.
And weight loss, I really feel, and I've seen a lot of research on it, is 80% food and 20% exercise. I'm a perfect example. I exercise all the time and I haven't lost any weight because I'm not eating properly. I eat too much. You know, people think I've exercised for 2 hours today, I can just eat what I want, but it's not the way it works.
No.
I mean, your body's gonna be more toned and healthier, but as far as weight loss goes, you gotta watch what you put in your mouth.
Yeah, you gotta decrease that caloric intake and make healthier choices with it.
And it really is for an apparently healthy person, which is like the fitness term, apparently healthy person, it's really calories in versus calories out. Now, there are a lot of times with people with different medical conditions and different metabolic makeups and genetics that might throw that off, but for the most part, it's calories in versus calories out. And the healthier your calories are, the better you're gonna feel.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you, Maggie, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Gentlemen,
Love
my
having you
pleasure.
here as a member.
Come work
Guys
out.
heard it.
Right here at 9 Round. Yeah. Now remember, make sure you stay tuned to 9 Round. Check us out on YouTube. We do have our own channel. And what is it, Tariq? 9 Round, coming to 9 Round where you get fit but never
Hit.